Gravy, baby.
Welcome to Gravy, baby. Hello, my little gravy biscuits.
Little biscuit bitches. We
My
haven't said that one in
little
a
gravy
minute.
boats.
We haven't even said that one in a minute. Little
Biscuit-
ladles.
Biscuit bitches.
Mm-hmm. Gravy boats, gravy biscuits,
Big-
bitches,
Bitches.
biscuit bitches. Ah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's making it too real.
Too real.
Hi,
Biscuit
DJ.
bitches.
Yeah.
DJ, is that wood painted black or is that a charred shiplap situation behind you?
This is a this is I don't know, chippewa.
Charred
Excuse
shiplap is
Chippewa.
like a real
I think that's painted.
turtlenecky thing.
The wood behind you is painted.
Yeah, now that
yeah.
after I asked it and you got close to it, I saw that, but then I was in the
This
middle
is
of
an old
explaining.
milking station actually that they turned into a house. So we got mostly some of the same barn wood as that. It's just painted.
Oh, so it's barnwood, which is the equivalent of shiplap in the
You
South.
see a truck? I suppose so.
Yeah.
So is both. Is
well,
painted.
Well, shiplap and barnwood
Shiplap.
aren't the same, but I should have said barnwood
Ship-
because that's like the
Shiplap.
southern version.
Shiflap.
Well, I'm
Shiplap.
glad we got into this.
Real good stuff. Oh, there you go. There you go, Papa Bear. Hide from it.
I'll
That'll work.
I'll take these off when I'm allowed to talk again.
All right,
I was,
DJ, give us an update. Give us a status. Where are these fucking goats?
They're on their way here. We're actually just building the second barn, about to get it up. And so yeah, probably here in about a couple weeks. Dogs, goats, cows, horses, fucking emus, guinea hen.
No,
Fucking-
emus.
You're getting a fucking emu?
No.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
We both got
We
so
got-
high,
we did.
dude.
We did get
We're gonna ride
excited.
a bird. We're gonna live forever.
we were thinking about getting a couple turkeys and stuff because they got them down there at
Hell yeah.
at the goddamn dude. I was working right, and then we stopped,
DJ will be asleep.
and now I'm fucking down. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
Did you eat?
It just not yet, but like
That'll be the
that
end
Yeah.
of it, dude.
Oh,
Once you
Jesus,
eat-
it just
You get any
Yeah.
kind of carbs in you right now, you're going to go night, motherfucking night.
I feel like I'm about to do it. You know how the feeling is when all of a sudden you get rest. You just sit down. You just sat down for this. I don't know for a minute, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, that's my muscles, and all the energy is just fucking going.
Yeah.
When you can feel the energy leaving your body. Oh, yeah.
And there's
Wow.
nothing you can do about it when it's the muscle tired. Because if it's
Mm-mm.
brain
I
tired,
know.
you're like, well, I'll just get my heart rate up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll squeeze
Yeah.
2 more hours out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still got to go back down there and goddamn unload like 2 more fucking, I don't know how many. Well, a bunch of more mulch. So when we get done with here, so I'm just gonna be a fucking blob.
Let me channel my dad real
Oh,
quick.
man.
It's good for you.
No, it definitely is. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, at the present juncture, I am a blob. I am a flaccid
I am blob.
blob.
I am a flaccid blob.
Yeah, that's what's going on there.
Flaccid blob.
That sounds the name of a rad band.
Does it?
I would go see Flaccid Blob.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wouldn't you, DJ? You would totally go see Flaccid Blob.
People would go see him, but no one
Absolutely.
would come.
Hey, he's back, folks. Aren't you glad you put
Cooltodd.com. That's who opens for Flaccid Blob. Dude, I would go see Flaccid Bob. I think I'd be way more
Yeah.
into that.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Because your
Because the
Flaccid
word-
Bob's coming to town?
Is it because the word blob's
Mhm.
gross?
I don't think it's because it's gross. I think it's not enticing. So maybe we're saying the same thing. But Flaccid Bob, that sounds like a dude who's figured it out.
Yeah.
Figured what? No.
He's got a
I'm
beard.
sure there's a flaccid Bob around here, and he ain't got fucking shit going for him.
But he
Yeah.
but he doesn't call himself Flaccid Bob on tour. That's the part of it that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
if
the
you're
self-named
self-aware.
moniker.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your friend was like if DJ was like, I've just been hanging out with Flaccid Bob, our ears would perk up so much.
Hey,
We'd be like,
excuse me. Hey, do tell.
what kind of art is he into? He got really into something in the 80s. I don't know what it was. Might have been the Grateful Dead. Might have been Wayne White. Is that his name, Wayne White?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Wayne
Wayne
White.
Newton. Flaccid Bob would like something off the off the beat pad like Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
man, I just like the way he performs. He gives it everything.
Man, we were in goddamn coming into we were in Waynesville, North Carolina, and we stopped, me and Drew and Andy, and we stopped at this place. And it was just this hole in the fucking wall.
You talking about biscuits and gravy?
I'm talking about when they were doing karaoke, and the some bitch there was a some bitch with like 9 knives on him. There was the reddest some bitches. One dude named Tater who was just going off. But then all of a sudden this dude just comes out of nowhere, and they're doing karaoke, and you can guarantee in this establishment what it was a lot of fucking Garth Brooks and fucking just that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy gets up and does some doo-wop, man, and he killed it. He fucking killed it. He didn't look like anybody else in there. I don't know. And he was obviously a regular, and I'm talking about doo-wop, doo-wop, shoo-wop, like fucking.
He did all the parts.
Yeah, dude, I'm talking about he went up there and killed it. And like totally out of the fucking, just right out of left field, man. And it was like, holy shit, man. Kosher. You gotta love it. You gotta love.
We were with David Joy, I think.
Yeah.
No,
it's just me.
I think now that you bring that up, do you think karaoke is something that's going to die with our generation? I feel like with as less connected as people are being and more introverted and stuff like that, and like it's almost
isn't
like
that just TikToks?
Yeah,
Isn't
right.
TikTok
I think that's TikTok's the version of it, right?
Yeah.
But I think then it was like it's just mouth syncing. You're not actually like
Right.
singing anything.
Oh, that's true.
It's just the dances and stuff. But there's no doing that in public.
If that's true, if it starts to go away, it'll come way back. Do you know?
Yeah, totally.
Because if a thing like that goes away enough to where people haven't heard of it, like imagine being 17 and seeing a karaoke bar for the first time, and you hadn't seen it in movies.
I remember. I became a regular almost immediately.
Hell yeah, dude.
But
somebody up there doing Pearl Jam's fucking even flow, just getting into it.
No, that guy was always there though. There was always an even flow guy.
Yeah.
There was always an even flow guy. There was always a Frank Sinatra guy, was the older guy who was still wearing a blazer.
Even Flow's the older guy now.
Yeah, Even Flow's the older guy. But now it used to be a Frank Sinatra guy, an Even Flow guy, and then there was always the 3 drunk ladies who would sing a pop song all together, where one of them wanted to do it, and then she was too scared, so they had to get liquored up, and then 3 of them would go there, and the other 2 definitely never knew the words of the song. There was always one girl singing it off key, and then the other 2 would and then get to the chorus, and that was it, because that was the only part of the song they knew.
I just thought of a very, very embarrassing karaoke story that will entertain you to no end.
Bring it on, baby.
Well, Red had a show in Brooklyn at this theater, and we had a good time. It was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, we moved out into the front bar area, and everybody was still there. And we were maybe selling T-shirts or selling the book or whatever. And then karaoke started up, and me and Corey were drunk, and we were like, all right, we're gonna do fucking Outcast. Trey, do it with us. He's like, nah, I don't want to do it. And he's like, come on, do it with us. Me and Corey were hammered. Trey was not. And Trey was like, I don't think what's going on is what y'all think is going on. And I remember him saying that and being like, shut the fuck up. What does that even mean? And then Trey, being smart and hilarious, was like, all right. So we went up to the karaoke guy. He was like, hey, we want to do karaoke. And he was like, you sign up, dude. There's a list of 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, this was our show. They want to see us do karaoke. And he's like, what? And then this other guy who worked there was like, yeah, dude, they're the comedians. And he was like, okay. put us on. We get up there. We're feeling ourselves. I took my shirt off.
Oh my God.
Threw it into the crowd. We're like going hard as we can. They're giving us almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
About halfway through, I'm like looking at the crowd and realizing these are absolutely not our fans.
They're not. No, they're
like this business like double booked their night on purpose because it's Brooklyn and everything's $1 billion.
Yeah.
Our fans came out into the karaoke bar, saw a bunch of 25-year-old Brooklynites and was like, we need to get the fuck out of here. This sucks. We spilled out 10 minutes later. We're too drunk to realize any of that. Went ham on Outkast. Shirt off. Threw it in the crowd. Brand new shirt. Someone had brought it to me that day from Tennessee. It was like the Knoxville outline done in a really cool 80s print. I never got it back.
Oh.
I had to wear my coat home because whoever caught it was like, fuck this guy, appropriately. Did we just lose everything?
No, just
Just
lights.
that?
Yeah, just light.
That is God shutting down the darkness on me that night.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. And like some people knew we skipped. The people up front like saw us skip. So they're like, these dudes skipped, sucked, took their clothes off. Who are these lame motherfuckers?
Wait, how would that suck? Did you put on a bad performance? I feel like you wouldn't have.
I thought it was great. Maybe it was our attitude. Oh no, we lost DJ. We lost everything. We're still shooting.
Shit.
Well, it's 1994 here in the studio. Back in my day, we did heroin in our arms. None of this pill shit.
Actually,
like
if it's
kids.
94, Orlando is the heroin capital of the world right now.
Hell
I wanted
yeah,
to say
dude.
that was the 90s were big for the big H
Yeah,
in the O-town.
I would say sounds like a fun time, but fun's not really what heroin's about, is it?
No.
It's peace
Yeah.
for a minute.
It's a shh.
I can't wait to do it when I'm old.
Me too. We're doing it together, buddy. I can't wait.
The 90s are back. That is real.
Not all the. I wish more of the right parts were back.
Yep.
It's just big pants. Katie and I were talking about this. Big pants, little shirt are back.
For the women. Big pants are back for the boys. Big shoes, chunky shoes.
Chunks.
Tiny hats. Boys wearing the tiny hats. That's a 90s thing
Oh
too.
shit, I forgot about that.
Yep. Maybe Raging Against the Machine will come back too.
I hope so.
Kids are into ICP.
Oh no, the Christians?
ICP are Christians?
That was the big reveal at the
Oh yeah,
end.
they
remember?
just copied the Bible, but that's not. Oh, I forgot about that. No, they were like turning to Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought you meant because a lot of the lore was based on the Bible, like every story, like the Matrix is too. You know? Yeah, I forgot. They were like, and Jesus is the best clown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like they were trying to convince their audience.
Yeah,
that
I've been having dick problems lately.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know.
In what kind of way?
Let's not get into it.
Okay.
Very uncomfortable way. It's like so hard not to adjust.
That
You know
is one part of penis envy I don't have is the adjustment. Just because everybody knows you're touching it.
Yeah.
There's no way to get around it.
And oftentimes there's no way to do it quickly.
Yeah.
Like if you try to do it quickly, you're just going to end up doing it 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like I just did.
Yeah.
37 years and I haven't learned. Excuse me. Do it, then it's over.
Yeah.
Pardon me, I had to cockeye my cock.
Cockeye.
What were we talking about? The 90s.
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
man. Rage could come back. Raging Against Machines, actually doing it. Here's the problem. That part of the 90s, even Cobain to a certain extent. I know he's like a divisive figure, even among people who are rad, because it's like, was he self-aware? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But even what he was doing, and Pearl Jam too, and even like the stuff that was going on on the ladies' side of things with like Lilith Fair and the Indigo Girls, that required depth. And I'm not saying no artists have depth anymore. That'd be a very silly old man statement for me to make. But it's so hard to cultivate a culture around depth on the internet.
I feel like it's harder for us to find the depth.
Right. Like those artists won't be pushed to the top the way those 90s artists
Yeah,
were.
it's definitely like an oil
I
water
hope I'm
situation.
wrong. I hope the kids figure it out. I hope I'm stupid and an old man right now.
I mean, but now as an artist, the only way you make a musical artist, the only way you make any money is if you're in fucking Fortnite or, like.
Or here's the hope.
Hmm.
You're touring and people just want to keep coming because it's so rad. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like the live experience aspect of
Right,
things.
but the only way to get discovered is because since we have we have access to everything, there's so much of what's it called? There's so
shit.
Yeah, there's so much shit to wade through to get to it.
I'm gonna tell DJ internet's down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have opinions. They're valid. I'll share them with you, but I also think
Okay.
they're obsolete in a sense because it's like what you and I are discussing is we're wondering how the kids are gonna do, and we just don't know. We just don't know how the kids are gonna do it.
Sure. I mean, all we could do is speculate. But that's what I'm saying is like there was a funnel of curation
Mm-hmm.
where we all at least knew of or knew about something, whether it was relevant or not, or good or not, it didn't matter. We all heard the same things.
Right.
So everybody
There
was
was
able
cohesion to a certain
there was
extent.
more cohesion is what it is. And I
It's-
feel like it's harder to do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on, if you're following, you would have to like follow, and it would be more difficult to cultivate an opinion. That's what makes like Taylor Swift so magnificent is the fact that, and maybe it's not magnificent, maybe it's just also timing in addition to talent, but for her to have blown up and stay up in a time when like she's huge with young people.
Yeah.
Like kids love Taylor
Well, I think
Swift
that's
too.
that's because she's famous to them before they discover her music for being famous. So is Beyonce. So is Drake. Like, there's a certain level you reach where kids are going to hear about you, so they're going to give you a listen, right?
Oh, so I guess so. I knew like about Meatloaf, maybe.
I think you're putting too much distance between the kids and Taylor. Not necessarily years wise, but like culture wise.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what the equivalent would have been.
I don't know if there was one. That's sort
I
of the
guess
point.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
but we would have heard the music though. I don't know.
I mean, we did. He had music videos. I also think that how do I want to say this?
Okay,
I think I got high. Did you smoke?
I hit it like once.
I'm very, very weak and sensitive.
Oh my God! Stop! You're not high. How sweet!
How sweet! No.
Is this yours, Mark? I didn't know you had your own.
What does that mean?
Wait, does that mean you really got raided in Long Beach or whatever? That joke I made, was it true?
He said no. He said no the way an attorney would coach you to say no. No.
No. Hard period.
It's
There's
like
a hard period.
He said it with his
That
eyes
period
too.
was a square. It wasn't even a circle. It wasn't even a dot.
Here's what I was going to say.
Okay.
There's this paradox with TikTok, the algorithm, the internet, whatever you want to throw it at.
Mm-hmm.
Culture's like flat. Everybody's the same, but also we can't. See, I think I am high. I don't know how to say this, and I had it in my brain a minute ago. It's like I'm blowing it. I'm totally blowing this.
Okay.
I'm losing. Not only am I like losing the logic, I'm losing confidence.
No, I could tell.
I'm, like, melting down.
Seeing the steam
Like-
dissipate.
Like I don't want to look at those two cameras. I'm falling apart. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking about how I had to adjust my dick a minute ago.
We can always edit that out, remember?
Keep it in. You keep it in. These kids need to learn about dick adjustment.
These kids, the people that listen to us are not children.
I know, but we've been talking about like teens and new music and stuff. It's just that like the internet
What do you
allows
kids think?
the
Come
internet
gravy,
allows
baby.
everyone to enter the market, right?
Mhm.
Like the cost of entry is lower than it's ever been.
Sure.
Music, comedy, rap, acting, anything,
Mhm.
right? Almost everyone has a phone. You can buy an app or whatever to make your beats. They're free on Fruity Loops. You
Mhm.
can enter the market. And yet everything's the same. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, how has culture gotten so flat when everyone's
because it's not creative. There's a difference. People are making things, but they're not being creative.
Why?
Because the making of the thing is so exhausting, you don't get the opportunity to be creative. Everything is at a more rapid pace, so you get more quantity over quality.
Right.
And that's what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with you.
Yeah. So I think that's it. So I just think it's harder for people to find good stuff. There is good
It's
stuff.
also hard for people to make good stuff because you have to be in the game a certain amount of time to get good. You see what I'm
Sure.
saying? And then you get tempted. It happens in comedy,
Or
happens
not.
in
There's
music.
always those outliers where it's just some weird kid in a closet who just has a gift and has finally started sharing it instead of art for art's sake, started sharing it with people. Like I found there's a couple of there's like 2 rappers that I found because of Instagram videos, and like they don't have a thing anywhere. There's not even a SoundCloud. Like I can't even get a full goddamn song. And I'm
Damn.
like, fuck, but I love what you do. I love what you're doing.
You told them, right?
Yeah.
I think it's important we tell people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This was something I wanted to talk about, and I think particularly to our audience, because whatever happened to positive reinforcement as far as progress? Like, and I think it started with I think it was Me Too's fault. When Me Too was like, we shouldn't have to thank you for not being a piece of shit.
She did.
No. I'm saying I think it started there. The idea of like, we shouldn't have to thank you for not being a piece of shit, which I understand, but that sentiment kind of went on with everything. I don't have to teach you. You learn what it's like. Well, if somebody's ignorant, they're obviously not learning the things that they need to learn.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to teach you might be a true statement, but it helps no one in certain examples.
Yes.
It's like, but you do. You shouldn't have to teach, but sometimes you do.
Right. And I think that's the opportunity when people have, because everybody wants to feel like a good person. Even people who are shitty want to feel like a good person.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I think that's the opportunity for the quote unquote allies to really step in.
And do what? Teach?
Yeah. Because it's like,
Okay.
Because everybody's always like, oh, okay, well, if you've been lied to a bunch in your life and you're like, oh, I'll just go to a person that knows firsthand. And like that used to be a good line of logic, but now it's rude. If you're like, hey, black person, what's it like for the black people and stuff like that? Like that used to be a smart way to get information because you're going from the source. You're not going by hearsay. You're not going by people who don't live an experience firsthand. So it used to be a smart thing to do. It's no longer a smart thing to do because now you know nobody wants to fucking do that all day. So now the opportunity is somebody who is a friend of that person.
Yeah.
But then that also kind of makes it hearsay again.
It's not just that it makes it hearsay. It's also think about who's going to step up for that. Like if you are at all a self-aware and decent person, this concept's going to make you a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's the part. I think that's the part of. Okay, sorry.
But think about who it won't make uncomfortable. And by the way, that's what's been going on. That's the backlash to like wokeism that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not that people got tired of hearing from black people about racism? It's that they got tired of hearing from a douchebag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A white woman. That's who, by the way.
The white knights, yeah.
White women got blamed for all that.
Yeah.
It's for the first time that flipped. White men got blamed for shit white women have been doing for years. And then in the last 2 years, white women just got all the blame.
Mm-hmm.
Feels pretty good, not going to lie.
Yeah.
But, do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making
it's that
sense
old
or if
Bill
I'm...
Burr bit. You own this.
Sit here and
yeah.
take your
Sit
talking
here and
to?
take your talking to. Yeah.
It's flipped to where now that's all that's happening is white women are getting the talking to.
Yeah.
Because I just did it myself. The example, and this is the example people use, is like, yeah, and then some fucking white lady from Brooklyn is telling everyone how to act. So my point is, you are correct, but who stepped up? You know, it was the worst people.
Well, I think there was a disconnect because it was like you want to hear. You're supposed to be elevating the voices of the people of whatever we're talking about.
Sure.
Either, LGBTQ community,
Let's
people of color.
Let's do Me Too, because we started there. And
Me Too. Yeah, but elevating the voices of people. And then it was like, but I don't know if maybe there was like you got tired of doing it. I don't know what happened.
Well, it's understandable. It's understandable that women have the Me Too movement and they're like, believe all women, and this is happening to us. So many women in your lives have been sexually assaulted, if not raped. You are blind to this. You're purposefully blind to this. Quit that bullshit.
Yes.
And then some decent people, men, were like, all right, tell me more. And eventually y'all were like, we're tired of fucking telling you. We've been telling you. We don't want to tell you anymore. And then some of these dudes, you even had a joke about it, and they're feminist as fuck t-shirts. We're like, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
So I can get my dick sucked. The worst people just ruin everything, always.
I just fundamentally, people are motivated by negative or positive reinforcement.
Yep.
And I just think if we're only going to have negative reinforcement, then you're only going to get so much progress.
I think, I think the answer is that even when you get tired of it, you do have to keep doing it, and not for the sake of that person. Like going back to Me Too, I think women do have to keep teaching men, not for the sake of those men, but for the sake of the future of their daughters and sons. I think the positive reinforcement does have to come from the people.
I mean, that
changes.
all boils down to the cool chick bit I have, which is like cool chicks have it the hardest because we are doing those. I am having those conversations.
Yeah.
It's the whole, I have that whole bit about being family zoned where like there'll be ignorant men that are like, fucking chicks don't get it. They don't fucking get, they've never been friend zoned before. They never fucking, they don't get the kind of rejection that, and it's like, yeah, we have.
My sister.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we have. You don't want to fuck me, right? Well, it's different.
You're like my
What's
sister.
different? Yeah. You're like my sister. Oh, okay. Fuck friend zone. You ever get fucking family zoned? It's way worse.
Yeah, it's pretty hot though.
I mean, that's the punchline at the end. Is like, I mean, considering all the fucking incest porn, it's not that bad. But so it's like,
Let me hit that.
Okay, and now you're gonna get dumb on purpose. I love you.
She got a full gold lighter, and she's telling me I'm dumb.
It's not 24 karat. It's metal.
It's getting dumber.
It's like a Cybertruck.
Getting dumber, getting dumber.
House weed.
It's like house money. Don't count.
Don't count. But yeah, I don't know. I just that's the part of it that I never understood. Is it harder? Yes. Is it work? Yes. Is it annoying? Yes. Isn't it things that you think people should already know? Yes. But America's dumb.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna do it. There's a Roy Wood Jr. bit that he's working on that I want to talk to you about.
No, yeah, you can talk to me about it afterwards.
I know. It's so right. I know. Then this is so rude. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to butcher it, and I also don't want to tell you the bit that he's doing.
But America is dumb. We can tell you that right now.
That's true. That's fact.
Yeah, and
That's
I think a hard fact, like,
but
a
I think
fact
that's
that
what
sucks
it is.
is that
it was a position of privilege that people just assumed everybody knew the data that they knew.
Yep.
Or were exposed to it, and then we're like, "You fucking moron! You don't know."
Yeah.
When they're also 34th in fucking education,
Right?
Like it was also incredulous to you that people were wanting to burn books because it's like it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much stupid. There's so much stupid and it's too much. I think the way to frame it for me is it does suck that black people are going to have to continue to educate white people about what it's like to be them if
It's
they want it done.
devastating.
It does
especially
suck.
because now there's so much stuff you can just watch.
Right.
You don't even got to
Right.
read. You can't read? Don't worry. Listen to James Baldwin.
It's horse shit. But if you don't do it, the worst people in the world are going to do it, and that's going to ruin it. And we've seen that happening over and over again. How many times have we seen someone like lecturing poor people on whatever, and then a black person goes, that wasn't even right.
Yeah.
You just fucking ruined it.
Yeah, because you're speaking for me.
Right.
And that's the other thing too, is I understand why an individual wouldn't want to speak for all of whatever as well. And I don't think it has to be. I think it's just not absolutes. I think it's just like, it could also be this. It could also be this. Have you considered this? You know?
What the world? needs now is love, sweet love. That's about the only thing that there's just too little of.
I mean, yeah.
I'm an ally.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happened is it was
became a
hard
personality.
to not feel like a dick rider. Like it was like seemed even disingenuous, or at times it was like people were saying it so that they felt good about themselves. Like,
yeah, but those of us trying to do the right thing, let dickheads use that against us. We let a lot of motherfuckers project on us. I realized that, especially during like the Black Lives Matter movement summer, where like people be like, "You're just doing this for clicks," and be like, "You would have." You knew that if you had done it, it would have been clicks and views, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to like piece that together because I was like, fuck, I don't want to be a dick rider.
Yeah.
I'm letting some cynical dickhead make me feel like a dick rider because
Right.
they don't want to do the work.
Right.
It's so much easier.
They wanted to get out of it.
Yeah. That goes back
And
to...
if you're like, oh, you can't do it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just to be, yeah.
That goes back to what we were talking about. I think it might have been last week, and I'm sorry for bringing that up that way, but Greta Thunberg. A lot of her haters, that's what it is. They're like, she just wants attention. You just want attention.
Yeah.
And you're jealous she's getting it. She wants to be able to drink water when she's 40.
Yeah. She's getting attention in a righteous way. And that's what you're jealous of.
Super jealous.
Yeah.
Kurt Metzger, who I actually fucking like.
I do too.
He's got a joke about her. And the punchline is hilarious.
Yeah.
But the whole tenor is like, buddy, what is happening with you?
Yeah.
Why are you mad at her? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The build up. He loves to do that. He loves to make you hate him and then have a punchline where you're like, oh, you're not a piece of shit.
Well, maybe that's true, but like his audience at this point, there's no like hating him in the build up. They're loving, they're foaming at the mouth for him shitting on a 18-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I think she's 20 now, somebody told me. That's the new countdown to 18. Like it used to be like gross, like we can fuck her when she turns 18.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like when these victims of a school shooting turn 18, we can talk shit about their politics.
Jesus Christ.
That's a real thing.
I mean, I still feel like the first thing is in play as well.
Oh, of course. Of course. I didn't mean replacement new. I just meant 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 88 Honda Accord's still on the road if you look hard enough. No, like the right, it really goes after that kid who's become an activist who was in the school shooting in Florida.
Oh yeah. Well, he was a crisis actor. They called him a crisis actor.
Right, but now that he is in college and going on TV, they go after him, and then they're like, "Well, he's an adult now." They say horrific things about a victim, and then they're like, "Well, he's an adult now." It's just like,
okay, it's not statutory fucking verbal assault.
It's also barely an adult. B, still a victim. You don't turn 18 and then you're like, no big deal.
Trauma fixed.
School shootings.
Yeah, if that was the case.
I didn't even like those kids that got murdered.
Oh my God. Just becomes a cynical dick. I know a couple of them who had it coming. Okay? I know a couple of them who had it coming.
Smoking.
Yeah.
It's like a 14-year-old smoking in homeroom. Do you want my opinion? I don't think you do, but I'll give it to you. We should start younger. That was my opinion you didn't want. 3rd grade shootings.
All right.
Okay, that was dark.
Let's change it. Do you have anything you're gravy about? What's gravy?
I was hoping
Jesus
I was hoping
Christ.
you wouldn't ask me. It's really rough right now in my family's life. I'm not like, I'm doing okay, but like the people that I care about are struggling, and that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's tough. Old people talking shit. I'll give you that one. Andy.
Ooh, in what way?
So Andy works for an online art school, and she like makes their videos, she makes their commercials, she does their social media, but then she also does some customer service stuff.
Mm.
And she has to like speak to, most of their students are older people. Most of the people taking online art classes for whatever reason seem to be old.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they call him mad. And sometimes it's really annoying. Like they're mad and it's confusing and it's just like, ugh. But sometimes they call, and I'm hearing these calls, And it's so fucking funny to hear
Yeah.
like a 70-year-old lady just be like, and he said he was doing expressionism. I know expressionism. That wasn't fucking expressionism. I paid $1,200 for this class. I can't get my computer to work. Also, he called blue, midnight the other day. What was that? Like, they're just always furious that these instructors don't know as much as them, which is like such an old person trait, I think, and like a beautiful one of like, I know more and I'm mad at you for that fact.
Well, yeah.
It's like, you shouldn't have taken the class, lady.
Well, they thought they were going to learn something.
This lady this morning was like, I have a gallery viewing coming up this weekend. So Andy's like looked up her name. She's a professional painter. Now, I'm not saying professional painters shouldn't take classes, but if you are a professional artist and you take a class, you can't be mad that you're better than the person asked to teach them, bitch. But like, I feel like I'm saying it now because I've gotten on this rant like I'm mad.
Yeah.
Genuinely loving it.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, call her. You did pay $1,200 and the motherfucker did call Navy Blue midnight and you know that's bullshit. And you should be telling on him. He's clearly a hack teacher and we need to know.
I'd rather have them bitching about the color blue versus midnight than them bitching about people not having, them not wanting people to have rights and shit.
Oh, that's in there all the time, too.
Of course, they slip it in. They
subtext.
shoehorn it. Yeah, they shoehorn it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, old people mad when you're not involved is so great.
So funny, dude. It's because it's like, and I know this is so infantilizing, but it's futile. That's what's so funny about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The futility of it. It's like a little kid and a very old person being angry. You're like,
It's cute.
cool, hit somebody.
Mhm.
I'll wait 5 seconds for your fist to get around, old guy. I mean, that lady this morning probably wasn't that old, like, that old, but it was just, it wasn't even the futility of it. It was more of like,
I just love that she was upset that they as an institution disappointed her.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was like,
she still
I gave
has
you
faith
12.
in this stuff.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's really sweet.
It is.
It's endearing. Dude, not to get super dark, but it reminds me of this time where my brother had done something super fucked up right before he went to prison. And my dad was furious. And me and my mom were like, yeah. And me and my mom were sitting there talking. She was like, why is he so mad? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like,
Oh, he believes
oh,
him.
because he still has faith in him as a person.
Yeah. He believes in him.
Womp womp. Anyway, I think it's sweet how these old people still have faith in people who take $1,200 from them.
Yeah.
And the level. The complaint wasn't like, there was no class.
Yeah.
It was like, during this class, he did some things I wish he wouldn't have. So funny. What's gravy for you?
What is gravy for me? Wait, do you have another example of an old person yelling in a cute way?
Oh, I got dozens of those.
Give me another one.
You ever been to like a Hardee's in the South between like 6 and 9 a.m.?
No, I don't wake up that early.
Buddy, it's great. So that's where the old men are hanging out in the South.
At the Hardee's?
Mm-hmm. As our civic engagement decreases and our places for civic engagement to happen are decreasing, the old people are at the Hardee's. And usually it's like real cool and peaceful, like diners. If there is a town with a diner and you go early enough on a weekday, there'll be a table of old men. They meet there every morning.
I've definitely seen old men at diners.
Yeah, it's like 4 to 8. And then there's always 1 or 2 dudes my age there. And when I first started seeing that, I was like, that's really cool. But over time, my cynical brains worked it into, I don't trust those two. Because I'm like, dude, I just don't think you're enjoying this for what it is. I think these are the pillars of the community and you're trying to be the fucking police chief. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when I see a 40-year-old with a bunch of 70-year-old men at Hardee's, I'm like, this is politics and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
That's an influencer.
That's
That's an old school influencer.
It's a rural South influencer.
Yeah, a rural influencer.
He's there
In-person
getting
influencer.
content.
He's like, so what's the word on the street with you guys, huh? What's the
Well, they suck up. That's what started bothering me because I love to eavesdrop, which is fucked up, but whatever. It's Hardee's, 7 in the morning. I don't want to be here. I need some entertainment. So I sit close to them and I listen. They tell stories. They talk shit about their wives. There's always a war. They're always mad at a liberal. It shifts which liberal it is. Obama, the most famous one, Pelosi, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I started like sitting there and I realized every young dude in that situation sucks up. And they're just like they're just a total dick rider.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it bothers me. Anyway, most of the time they're happy. This is their spot.
Mm-hmm.
This is where they exist.
Yeah, it's where they thrive.
So they don't get mad. But that's
It's
also
the view.
yes. But
Is they go there and they discuss the topic, their individual issues with
Right.
their individual relationships, and
Right.
then their problems with the world.
And it's great because when they're like 75, it might be their wives, but it's not sex.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that's so great about it is when men don't need sex anymore, you find out what they're actually upset about
No, truly.
and care about.
It's my favorite part of being friends with men that are older, that it was like there's like a switch that happens at a certain point. Each one of them is at a different time, and it's just where pussy doesn't matter anymore.
Please, Jesus. If you could take this cup from me.
In the minute it shifts, there's like they become funnier in a Larry David kind of way.
Right.
Because then it's no longer
Well, because men run the
they're
world.
no longer as predictable.
Right. And because men run the world,
Mm-hmm.
the world has adjusted to the fact that most of us are always trying to get pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And so another thing is how powerful those old men are. Because
Yeah.
they're still men in charge, but that weakness is gone.
Yeah.
And that's where that Larry David thing, I don't need it.
Funches has this great bit where, or he was doing this great bit where it was like about the vaccine. Like he has a lot of conspiracy theorists in his family, and they're like, "You're not gonna get the vaccine, right? It makes your dick not work. It makes your balls get huge. You get huge balls." And he's like, "If I could have the mental clarity of a limp dick and the confidence of a big bald individual, like, do I have to pay for this? I gladly will."
The government's giving it away. Very funny.
Super silly. But yeah, there is something like, it's almost like post nut clarity,
Yeah.
but forever.
Yeah. So that's their sacred space. They
Yeah.
don't get angry there
Yeah.
unless something changes.
Yeah.
So one time I was at this place and it wasn't like a Hardy, it was like a diner,
Mhm.
and they had raised their prices. And for some reason, it was like time to pay the bill. This dude genuinely couldn't. I mean, his friends were trying to help him. Because at first he was being nice. He was like, "You've made a mistake. You've charged me the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's not what my pancakes and eggs cost."
Probably because he paid $23.07 for the last 6 years.
Exactly.
Every single morning.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone up now. And
So now it's $24.95.
and she's made a mistake, and he's just alerting her to the fact at first.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the issue was he genuinely couldn't understand what was happening.
Mhm.
Like they were trying to explain to him, the price changed. And he was like, "That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
The
it's a
price
real,
changed."
Who's on First fucking Avenue can sell us that.
He's like, but Bill, you don't understand." "Yes, I do. Don't
Yeah.
tell me I don't understand." Now that was like 2 years ago, but like that was so fucking funny to me.
Oh wow.
Just like this dude was so mad,
Mm-hmm.
and no one was fighting about the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Because by the end of it, the woman was like, "It's fine. You can pay $23.90. Well, it's fine."
Mhm.
He wasn't gonna have that either, though.
No, because
now
he's
you're
gonna come-
condescending to me, dude.
She was
Mwah.
like, "I'll pay the difference," and he's like, "No, because when I come back, it's still gonna be like this."
Right, and he wasn't yelling at her.
Yeah,
He was like-
yelling at the change.
Well, and also he was yelling at her and his friends, not like you guys are pieces of shit, but like it's so frustrating that you're not understanding me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "We do understand you, Bill. We're saying the price changed. And he's like, I'm saying the price changed. So
You're not saying what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
And it was the futility of it. So it wasn't like a situation where an asshole was yelling at a waitress. It was like a community trying to help someone not get it, and him just refusing to get it. So he wasn't like mean or like you could tell like he was gonna see her tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like an old man with his daughter.
Mhm.
This is what you're always doing this to me. You know what I mean? Like now he's the victim of a bigger conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And he was never rude. He was just so frustrated.
Yeah.
Just with the world. You know what I mean? This is what the world's come
because why
to.
would the price change?
Yeah.
Why would it ever change? Why would it ever need to change?
Yeah, and this isn't Hardee's. I think that was the other part of it. As he started to get it, it was like, so you did this.
Why'd you charge me more?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta have to bring that up to the owner, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the messenger.
He will.
Oh no, and he will.
Yeah.
That's what's so great.
I believe he did in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, 10 out of 10. I feel like it's a little condescending, infantilizing, but I just like it when old people get mad.
Yeah, I mean it's just cuter.
Unless they're powerful.
Yeah, of course.
Powerful in the sense of like, unless they're like, own the company, then it sucks.
Right. Or if them being mad in general is fine. Them being mad at a person.
Yeah. Also, I want to say something to our fans because this has happened to me a lot on the Well Read podcast because I shit talk old people all the time.
Yeah.
Then someone like yells at me and I'm like, you're 60. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like an 80-year-old man. I'm talking about a dude who was in World War II.
Oh man, there's only like 3 of those left.
Sure, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what? On that note, that Hardy story might be like 6 years old. Do you know how like with the pandemic, 2020 was 2 years ago?
Sure.
Yeah. That story's probably 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still meet, like post
No,
pandemic.
they're all dead. That was like why I just thought of that. They definitely do not. They have died. Every person in that story, even the waitress, she OD'd. The diner closed down. The town's gone. A Leviathan came through. We're here in Trump country trying to figure out what happened. Why would they vote against their interests when the last 30 years have been complete hell here?
That's a callback to 2 episodes ago.
Well,
I'm glad that you're still fired up about it.
no, buddy. You think I'm fired up? DJ can't even form a thought when he tries to talk about it.
No, that is something that's gravy for me. I love when DJ gets fired up and then he's
It's
like,
kind of like an old man being mad.
It is kind of like an old man being mad. He just gets so steamed. It's just in fragments. You just got to piece it together yourself.
Yeah.
And add
I
a lot of
can,
mains. Yeah.
Unless he's yelling at me. Then
Yeah.
I can't. Because
Yeah.
now I'm mad.
Yeah, that was funny. Remember that, guys? Remember that? Remember when
Mark loved it.
Remember when we sat through? Remember when you and I, the audience, and me sat here like our parents were getting divorced at a Taco Bell on the inside?
I knew you were going to make it trauma bondy. She's got many moves, folks. They're good ones. But I know them.
That's for the people on YouTube.
You know what it is?
Contact is for the people on YouTube.
I was about to call back to a thing we haven't. Never mind.
What?
No, I was. It's me. I was gonna bring up a thing from weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
as if we were just talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, what is it?
About like Sativa.
Oh yeah, what about that? Was it weeks ago?
To the people listening, wasn't it?
It was like it was last week. It wasn't that long ago. What about it?
I'm great with it when I have a place to put the energy.
Oh yeah.
It turns on me when I said at night. I think it's just alone.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Like I can't go down, but if I have a place to put that energy, I'm fine. If I don't, I'm getting paranoid.
Well, that's why I like it. I lean into it. I do that plus caffeine.
Do you like pain?
No, I like to go fast. I want to go fast. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted to I drove really fast.
Did you do Daredevil shit?
I mean, I went bungee jumping when I was like 11, and like, I did all that stuff. I tried to ride roller coasters before I was too tall enough.
I did all that shit, and now I'm the opposite. I'm an anxious person. My first concussion, I tried to ride my big wheel down the slide, so I thought it'd be rad.
Fuck yeah, it would be.
And I know
if you would land that, are you fucking kidding me?
I carried it up the slide, right? And then I set it on the mount. And there was like the bars, I had to work it past so that it would roll down, and it stuck out over the side and the back. And I fell climbing onto it from there.
Oh, no. So you couldn't even have executed it.
I flipped over and just landed on my head. I was a total daredevil. Fucked my knee up, jumping a bike into a lake. Jumped out of a boat at like 17, got another concussion. Maybe I just have CTE. I think I might. Actually, I'm glad you think that's funny because I've been thinking about it the last like 2 years. Actually, I think I might have my
know
CTE.
that if you have it, I will still laugh at you.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I said I'm glad you think it's funny because it might be real. Because there's mild versions of it they're learning now.
Some of them are gonna think I'm an asshole, but know that I am thoroughly an asshole when it comes to this.
Nah, fuck them. So. The CTE, there are mild cases of it they're learning. Like you can have like a milder version of it. And at the age where like the extreme versions like kill their whole family, that is like the age where I started like getting most depressed, anxious, and my personality got worse. So like I think I might have light CTE. I'm not even kidding. Because I can remember like plays in high school and college. Well, I don't remember the plays. Like I remember this night in high school, there was a dance. And at the dance, I was still asking the quarterback how to run a certain play. And he was like, first of all, the game's over. And second of all, we run that play all the time. And he was like, you need to go home. But that was just, back then that was just culture.
Culture.
Yeah, that's what we did. Trey used to have a joke about it. He's like, we didn't have concussions. The way he did the joke was like, we didn't have stuff growing up like a lot of you had. Money, satellite TV, concussions. That was just called getting your bell rung.
Yeah.
I used to get my bell rung all the time. The fucking trainer on my college football team got wrapped up in a lawsuit because a kid about died because he finished a game with a concussion.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Kids these days, how good they have it. I just didn't know where to go with that. Anyway, I think I like, a part of me genuinely believes that I have mild CTE. And I'm very terrified to like get the test.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure that means my 60s and 70s are going to be rough. And I'd rather not know. I'll know when it happens. Then I'll know what I need to do.
I mean, I'm like that about everything medical. I don't get anything
want to
checked.
know, you mean?
Yeah.
I want to know if I can do something about it.
Like what? What are you going to do?
Well, it depends on what it is. Like if you got a lump right here, I want to know what it is. I want to know if I can do something about it. And if I can't, then I can let it go. If I can, then I want to do it.
Yeah, it's a quality of life thing for me, I think. The people change when they know something's wrong.
Sure, but I think more ailments end up being manageable than end up in that camp. Perfect example, I had that thing on my face for like 6 months. And then I finally went, and it was skin cancer. And it was starting to grow. And if I had waited another 6 months, it might have been a real bad situation. And instead, it was a fucking 1 hour surgery. Something that definitely would have killed me in the 1700s.
Yeah, I mean, with as many things as wrong with me, I don't feel bad or whatever as far as that goes. So I just don't ever. If if it ain't broke situation.
Sure. I guess what I'm saying is I hope if you were in the situation I was in, and I know you won't because you have perfect olive skin.
Oh my God, shut up.
But I hope you would, I hope that's one where your brain can be like, all right, I got to go get this taken care of because it's easy to take care of. Yeah. And if I let it fester, it won't be easy to take care of. I hope you're able to differentiate, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I'm not completed yet. I think I'll.
But if you think you have a brain tumor, yeah, don't go.
No.
Because if it's not a brain tumor, you're fine.
Doesn't they try to tell you? Yeah. I know when people want to know. Then what if they're wrong? Either way.
And if they're wrong, aren't you going to be fine?
But if they're
just a migraine?
If they're wrong and you expect to die and you're like living it up because you think you're going to die and then you don't die.
I have a friend who did that.
Yeah.
He had very bad cancer,
Oh shit.
and him and his buddies ran up 3 credit cards in his name,
And
and he lived. He doesn't seem to regret it.
No, why would you? The fun is
I
the
thought
fun
that was the
doesn't
point
go
of your
with-
story is that you wouldn't want it because you'd live it up and find out you're living.
Well, I'm saying that's different. We need doing it. But if you're like,
What are you worried about? What are you gonna do if you think you're dying? And then if you didn't die, you'd have to live with it. Telling people how you really feel. Is that what it is? That's what it is, isn't it? I know you. You'd be like, you don't understand. I'd make like 7 phone calls. I'd show up at a certain comedy club's doorstep.
I wish, man. I wish I cared.
What would you do? What are you worried about doing? I wish you could live like you were dying. Tim McGraw, great song.
No, but yeah, I guess. No, I guess I mean like when I thought about it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like, I think it's more like preparing yourself, mentally preparing yourself. I'm living it up, but then okay, kids, all right, I'm gonna die. I gotta get into it. You know, you gotta get into character, whatever.
Yeah, you accept it.
The exception.
And then you don't. You beat the game. I think genuinely this is the greatest thing that could happen to someone. Easy for me to say, it's never happened. I know there'd be a lot of trauma from the fear, but if you go through the fear of dying, face that, get 4 to 6 months of living how you would live if you didn't have to worry about the only negative would be is if you like developed an addiction or got syphilis or something weird like that.
Mhm.
But what if that's not who you are actually? What if what you discovered about yourself is that I told everyone I loved them
Mm-hmm.
and the people I didn't want to say that to, I just didn't answer their fucking phone calls anymore? What if your life got infinitely better? You learned an invaluable lesson and then you get told, hey, it turns out how cool your life's been the last 4 months. We're getting to extend that. I was totally wrong. My bad, dude. Not at all a brain tumor. It was this old guy. He was yelling at me, got me confused. I switched the charts around. You know how mad old people are. Sorry, I'm a bad doctor, but you're going to live.
So then, do you keep it? Can you maintain it?
I don't know if you can or not. So the only negative is if you can't, then you're like mad at yourself for not being able to. But like parts of it you'd be able to maintain. You now know that cutting people out of your life you don't want to be around
Mhm.
is better. Why would you ever go back to it?
That I think you just summed up what this podcast is. You were just. This was positive toxicity. No, don't ruin it with a finger gun to the camera.
I ruined it with an ironic joke. And that's what this podcast is. Don't you tell me what this podcast is. I know what this podcast is. I had no idea what you were talking about
No.
at first.
Oh, okay.
You said
No, I saw it in your face. You were like, "Where is this bitch going?"
If the only thing I thought was like, you mean like you stopped hanging out with certain people and you just want to hang out with me and DJ now?
That's it. You guys can't have other friends either. It's just us. Oh, I guess I
that's
don't need
positive toxicity. Hell yeah, dude. That honestly, I was
because
thinking
it is. You obviously shouldn't want shouldn't want people to die or anything. But you would want them to want to have that thing. But you would want them to be able to maintain it. I don't know if you can maintain it.
But even if you can't, I'm not gonna openly wish it happens to me because it has to be traumatic to think you're dying if you want to live.
Yeah.
And
I don't
if
know,
you know
man.
it,
A
you're
lot
gonna
of
tell
those
your
kids
wife
with
and
the
stuff.
fucking the Children's Miracle Network, they seem like
I've been saying it.
They seem like way uncomfortably cool with the notion of dying at that age.
I think
It
it's 'cause
feels
they
like
don't
the
get it.
longer you're alive, the more scary death seems.
Yeah, definitely true. I've been shitting on them kids for a while. When I got skin cancer, the joke that I made that did pretty well, it was about them kids. I was jealous of them
Why?
because they got to meet John Cena and shit. I had cancer for 2 weeks, Carmen. I got no attention. If I keep going, I'll end up doing the bit, but there wasn't a hashtag. There was no GoFundMe. They're going to meet John Cena at Disneyland. I didn't meet my doctor till the day of the procedure. It was a good joke. Anyway.
It is a good
But
joke.
I mean it. Like, there's something, maybe they're free. Maybe they've overcome death. The children are the future. Unless they're going to die, then they're not. I don't know. We're almost done, but I have to hold to hit 60 because Mark told me not to, and he thought I was going to forget.
You asked for this, Mark. That would have been a great place to end it.
But instead, we can plug. We're going to hit 60 with our plugs, right?
Oh, yeah. Plug it up.
Yo, I'll be out on the road in the South all of June. I am going to be in Atlanta like June 6th, 7th, and 8th, I think it is, somewhere around that time. I'm going to be in Virginia the 5th and 6th with Trey Crowder. I am going to be at Bonnaroo. If you see me, no, you didn't. I'm going to be in Bristol, Tennessee the 20th and 21st. Nashville, Tennessee the 25th or 6th, whatever the Wednesday is. And then I have something at the end of June, and I forgot what it was. Who cares? Go, Carmen.
CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. The big date I need you guys to go to, if you guys know anybody in the Tampa Bay area, please come see me at Side Splitters at the Wesley Chapel location. And then later on in the year, I'm going to be in Milwaukee, and later on in the year, I'm going to be in Seattle. There we go. And other places. Oh yeah, Minneapolis and Rochester, Minnesota as well. So yeah, just CarmenMorales.com. Get all those stuff. Follow me on all the assorted social media at The Funny Carmen. Patreon.com/GravyBabyPod. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Don't cut yet. I have a question for you.
What?
You had like perverts reach out to you. You've talked about it before. Like they talked about your eyebrows, and your feet. Nothing wrong with perverts. I hate when people say, don't call them perverts. They're perverts. I just accept them. When you say that, CarmenMorales.com for all your Carmen Morales needs.
Yes.
Has anyone ever hit you up and been like, I have Carmen Morales needs that were not fulfilled?
No, but thanks for putting that out there. Thanks, guys.
We got needs.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,